Ooh, that's nice, man. Right. Come on, it's savage. I struggled with mental health really badly. I questioned everything I did. I saw myself as weak, and I battled that massive insecurity for a number of years, and that caused me eventually at some point to crack. Welcome to a new channel that I created. Now, I wanted to start creating videos on my experiences and things that have happened to me in life. Might sound weird, and you might look at the startup of this video and this was probably not the face you were expecting. My name's Will. I'm 21, from Cardiff. And 18 months ago, I was an alcoholic. You might be thinking, how does a 19-year-old become an alcoholic? Alcoholics aren't normally my age. You know, they're 50-year-old men whose life has gone to shit. Not always the same way. Alcoholism can take many different forms, and so can addiction in general. And I'm sadly a living example of that. So let me take you back 2 years. Well, 18 months, excuse me, not 2 years. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. 18 months ago, I was in uni. Pretty much living a regular 19-year-old life in uni. I was going out with my mates. I was enjoying life, clubbing, doing other shit in uni that you normally do. Pretty much clubbing and not doing work. That's pretty much about it. Going to the pubs to watch football. Nothing too exciting or too different. But sadly, there was something else going on. I projected a life that was in some way great, and I was happy. But in all honesty, happiness was far from the truth. I hated the person that I had become. I hated myself. I attacked myself continuously for not being the person I should be, or a person I wanted to be. I constantly, anything I did wrong, I attacked myself for. I crucified myself. Severe levels of, I was insecure. And instead of talking about that insecurity, and instead of having that level of understanding of it, I drank it away. Which sounds really dumb when you think about it. It sounds stupid as hell. So instead of going and talking to people about it and trying to solve it, I instead picked up a bottle of tequila and thought, yeah, you know, fuck it, I'll go tomorrow. And it worked for, well, however long I was drunk for, which is normally about 2 hours. Well, for a few hours, give or take. But then the next day, the hangover sets in. And that negativity just rolled right back in. You then hate yourself because you just sat in bed till 4 in the afternoon with pretty much a bottle of Lucozade and a few packets of crisps. That'll tie me over, made me feel a bit better. And I couldn't get out of bed, couldn't move, sacked off uni most of the time. But then in the evening you would think, you can have one day like that and you can move on. But it wasn't. That one day turned into 6 more a week. 6 days a week. My life was drink, hungover, eat a little bit, then drink again. That's how my weeks went. But it wasn't the amount that I drank. Not really. It was why. I force and create scenarios where drinking was the only option because I needed it. I craved it. I couldn't live without it. But what that caused was, on the 16th of June, 2019, I can remember the date, that's mad. Always surprises me, I remember the day. So, 18 months ago, give or take, I suffered alcohol withdrawal seizure. I was walking to the shop. My mum actually asked us to get a Turkish delight. So I went to the shop for my mum, being the good little son that I am. Ran over to the shop and thought, yeah, you know, I'll get you some chocolate, mum. Being all nice and that. Sadly, I walked into the shop. Felt completely fine. Walked. No issue. And magically, I remember it being extremely bright in there. And then, within a blink, that brightness just turned to absolute darkness. That was it. Pitch black darkness. And then, you don't know what to expect. You know, I woke up 15 minutes later. Oh, that's bright. Jesus. That's what it... Funny enough, that's what it felt like. I woke up and I was on the floor. Just had... Boom. Straight to the floor. There was people around, ambulance came. I was taken to hospital. No idea what had happened. No real clue of what had gone on. I got there. Yeah, they told me I had a seizure, which scared the hell out of me. No idea what that meant. No idea what was because of that. Thought, oh, you start to worry about all the worst possible things it could be, aneurysm and many other things. In my case, it wasn't. It was a alcohol withdrawal seizure, which makes sense when you think about, you know, the 2 bottles of vodka, the 2 bottles of tequila and all that shit. When you think about the amount I was drinking, which turned out to be at least over 70 to 80 units, which is, I think, don't quote me on this, I think about 8 times the government advised alcohol intake a week. It's quite scary when you think about it. Shit. Fucking hell. Think of the money as well. Think of the money. I must have been spending a fortune on alcohol. Well, in fact, I was spending a fortune on alcohol. I was drinking instead of eating. Yeah. I'll go into that, hopefully, in more videos of what it's actually like to live as an alcoholic, because it's not fun. But anyway. Yeah, so when they heard the units I was drinking, they weren't... Which was... I understated, I think. I remember understating it because I couldn't actually work out in my head how much I drank a week. Because most of the time, to be honest, I couldn't really remember. But... yeah, they were fairly confident that it was an alcohol withdrawal seizure. And basically the discussion was that you keep drinking and this happens, or you stop drinking and it probably doesn't happen again. So, it's very weird. It's not really what you want to hear when you're 19, that you're pretty much not going to be able to drink for the rest of your life. I needed to change my way. I needed to change my life. But I knew there was a lot more that I needed to change. Not just drinking a shitload and getting rid of the drink. I had to change everything. That callousness, for one. You can no longer beat yourself up when you're suffering addiction. The more you attack yourself for what? Because you're an addict. The more and more problematic the issues get. So I had to look at myself in a positive way, which was really hard because I saw this for a while where I was somebody I didn't want to be. I was far from the man who I thought I could be. But in the same way I thought I was invincible, and so this showed me I wasn't. And it well and truly did. I found out a lot about myself, and a lot I didn't like. But instead of sitting there and drinking it away, and like I said before, just drinking my sorrows away with a bottle of tequila and chuck some shitty VKs and some other crap, double rum and coke. Oh, I do miss rum though. I do miss rum, I can't lie. Rum is great. Don't drink if you're under 18, by the way. But yeah, rum was definitely my drink of choice, definitely. Yeah, what was I saying? Christ. Going on about rum, I can't remember. Rum and tequila all the time. Definitely. God, yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, just getting rid of the alcohol wasn't going to be enough. I had to change it a lot more. And with the help of counselling, I'm able to sit counselling many more and a lot more issues to do with mental health, depression, anxiety, and a lot of other shit. I'm now in a position where I feel 10 times better about myself. Not drinking for 18 months helped, made me lose 3 stone, which was nice because one of the things I had a really bad body image. I hated what I looked like. I hated, what it was. So losing 3.5 stone was quite helpful for that. But it also made me look more positively on everything I've done. And to have a situation where I was able to get rid of alcohol and continue to almost be to be a better version of that self who I was before made me just so much more positive all the time. And counsellors helped me think more positively. And I'm now in a position where I'm able to discuss this with people. And hopefully, for if you ever have to go through addiction or any serious mental health problems, that you know that talking is one of the biggest ways to get rid of it. You have to talk. Talking to people was such a pivotal thing for me. To help me realise that many other people out there were the same as me. And were suffering from similar issues. Maybe not to the same extent, but they were suffering similar issues. And that made me shows that you're not alone. And there's one thing you'll find out. There's one thing I want you to take away from this video. You're never alone when you suffer from mental health. There are many other people out there like you. But also, there are many other people out there who want to help. And that's what I found. My friends help me through it all the time. They still do. Anytime I have an issue, my friends are there. And other people are there. They always will be. And that place will always be there. And that's why I started this channel. I started this channel because I wanted to show to people that talking about stuff like addiction and mental health shouldn't be a problem. You should be able to. Should be able to talk freely on these issues and reduce the stigma that's attached to them. And when I was growing up and when I was suffering from it, there weren't many people talking about alcohol addiction online. And especially people who are of our age, of my age group. I keep saying our age. I don't know how old any of you are. Of my age. There wasn't anybody talking about it at my age. So I didn't think that there was anyone suffering out there who was an alcoholic. Which I found out there are people who are of my age who are an alcoholic. So that's why I wanted to create this video. For anyone out there who is worried about their addiction, worried about their drinking, worried about their mental health, no, there are others out there like you. You aren't alone. And there are many people who will want to help you. Because you are always better off here. So thank you all very much of you for watching. You're all good eggs, great eggs. Safe for that. And yeah, so I hope to create more videos talking about mental health, my own mental health, sobriety and drinking and everything associated with what I've talked about. It's quite a lot of videos. I've got some good videos in mind that I want to still keep on creating and hopefully get them out there at some point for you. So again, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you soon. And then suddenly, boom. Why is that globe light on? That just ruined. That just ruined that whole segment with that light being on.